Hello, welcome. Today we are going to be learning arms of government. Arms of government. Is that clear? Arms of government. Arms of government. There are three arms of government, namely the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Namely the words legislature, executive, and judiciary. Those are the three arms of government. The legislature, the executive, and the what? Judiciary. Is that clear? Every government, every democratic government must have these three arms of government. Is that clear? The legislature, the executive, and the what? Judiciary. In Nigeria, we are practicing democracy, isn't it? The legislature is made up of the two House of Assembly houses. Number one is the what? Senate. And number two is the what? House of Rep. These two make up the what? The legislative arm of government. Is that clear? When you go to the National Assembly, you see the senators in the upper chamber. You understand? Then you see the House of Rep members in the what? Lower chamber. Is that clear? The two of them make up the what? Legislative arm. The executive arm is made up of the president. Is made up of the what? President. Is made up of the president. Is also made up of the governors. Is also made up of the what? The governors. Is that clear? The president, the governor, the cabinet. In Nigeria, we call them the ministers. We call them the what? Ministers. All these fall under the executive. You understand? And they use other people like the police and the military and enforcing rules, isn't it? The judiciary is made up of the what? The courts, the judges, isn't it? The judges in the what? Courts. And you know that we have the highest court of the land in Nigeria is the Supreme Court. Do you know? The highest court of the land in Nigeria is the Supreme Court. You understand? You have the justices, you have the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the judges, the magistrate court judges, and the rest of them. You understand? So these three arms of government make up the government. These are the three main arms of government: the legislature, the executive, and the what? Judiciary. The executive, which is the number one, is consisting of the president, the governors, and the ministers. You understand? And other people, it's not only the president, the governors, and the ministers. While the legislature is consisting of the what? The Senate and the House of Representative what? Members. The Senate and the what? House of Representative members. The judiciary is consisting of the judges in the courts. The Supreme Court, the Court of Appeal, the Magistrate Courts. Is that clear? Now we're going to take them one by one so that we can learn their functions. We're going to take them what? One by one so that we can learn their functions. So number one, we look at the legislature. The legislature. The legislature. This is the organ or arm of government assigned with the function of what? Law making. The legislature is the arm or organ of government assigned with the function of lawmaking. Assigned with the function of what? Lawmaking. And that's why I say that the legislature is made up of the people in the House of Assembly, the Senate, and the House of Rep members, is it not? They are the people that make the law of the land. The judiciary interprets the law that is already made by the legislature. Is that clear? Whereas the executive enforces the law. The executive does what? Enforces the law. So you see the three of them works hand in hand. The legislation makes the law, the judiciary interprets the law, and the executive does what? enforces the law. Is that clear? So they are assigned with the function of what? Lawmaking. Is that clear? They are given different, the legislature are given different names in different what? Countries. They are given different names in different countries. The legislatures are given different names in different countries. In Nigeria, we call them the House of Assembly people. Is that clear? In Britain, they call them the Parliament. In Britain, they call the legislature the Parliament. In Nigeria, we call them the House of Assembly people. In Britain, they call them the Parliament. In the United States of America, they call them the Congress. They call them the what? Congress. So in Nigeria, they are called the what? National what? National Assembly. In Britain, the legislature is called the what? Parliament. Parliament. In Britain, they are called the Parliament. In the USA, the legislature are called the what? Congress. You understand? So the legislature are given different names in different countries. In Nigeria, we call them the National Assembly. In Britain, we call them the Parliament. In USA, they call them the Congress. Is that clear? Is that clear? Is that clear? Now, we are going to look at the functions and importance of the legislature. The functions and importance of the legislature. Functions and importance of the legislature. Functions and importance of the legislature. What are the functions and importance of legislature? What are their functions? Number one is law making. Number one is what? Law making. They make the law. Is that correct? Number two is amendment of the constitution. Number two is what? Amendment of the constitution. You understand? The legislature, they make the law, but over the years, when they find out that a specific law in the constitution is not good, they will amend it. It's their duty to amend it too. They also function as House of Representatives. They function as what? House of Representatives. They speak for you. Those people that you elect to go to the legislature to make law, when you have problem in their constituencies, it is their duty to come to the House of Assembly and talk about it. You understand? So that the whole world and the whole nation will know about those problems and the proper solutions to those problems. And they do what? Proper solutions to such problems. Now we're going to learn about the types of legislature. Types of what? Legislature. Types. There are two types of legislature. There are what? Two types of what? Legislature. There are what? Two types of legislature. We have number one, we call it the unicameral legislature, and number two, we call it the what? Bicameral legislature. Two types of legislature. We have the what? Unicameral legislature and the what? Bicameral legislature. Are we together? Have you finished writing that? So here we have unicameral and what? Bicameral. In unicameral legislature, there is only one house of legislature. There is only one what? House. You understand? Once the bill is passed by that one house, it goes to the president for his assent. Is that clear? But in bicameral, there are two what? Two houses or bodies. You can call them bodies as well. Bodies of what? Legislature. Chop. The first one, the legislature. You understand? When there is only one body, we call it unicameral. Is that clear? Is that clear? When there is only one body, but when there are two houses, we call them what? Bicameral. In Nigeria, what kind of legislature are we practicing in Nigeria? Bicameral. In Nigeria, we practice bicameral because we have the what? We have the Senate and the what? House of Rep. You understand? So the countries that practice the bicameral, we can write Nigeria, isn't it? In USA also, they practice bicameral legislation. You understand? Because they also have the Senate and the House members. Is that clear? Countries that practice unicameral are countries like what? Ghana, Sierra Leone. Is that clear? Ghana and Sierra Leone, Gambia, all of them practice unicameral. All of them practice what? Unicameral. So once they get the bill, once one of the house passes the bill, he takes the bill straight to the what? President. They take the bill straight to the what? President. Only one house passes the bill, takes it to the president. But in bicameral legislature, the two houses, the Senate and the House of Assembly, must pass the what? Bill before taking it to the what? President. So in unicameral legislature is only one house of assembly, only one house, as they use in Ghana and Sierra Leone. Once the house passes the bill, they take the bill to the what? President for his assent. But in bicameral legislature, we have two houses or two bodies. The upper house and the what? Lower house. The Senate and the House of Representatives. The two of them must pass the bill. You understand? Before they can take it to the president for his assent. Is that clear?